What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Affan, and today we're going to be watching some more Better Call Saul. It's episode 5 of Better Call Saul in season 2 called Rebecca. All right, cool. I'm assuming we're going to get introduced to someone called Rebecca in this one. Yeah, if you want to see the full-length reaction to this, they're available on my Patreon, link in the description. Check it out. Thank you so much, every single one of you, for supporting me all this time. And these episodes go up early on Patreon as well. Before I talk a little bit about the previous episode, I'm going to be going away soon on a vacation. So this might be the last episode I record, or I might record one after this. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, if you see a little gap in the middle, that's why I'll be away. But I'm trying to do my best to record as much as I can and upload them all before I leave. They'll all be on Patreon, and then slowly when I'm away, I'll just make them public from YouTube, eventually. So yeah, bonus for patrons, because you guys are so lovely. You have been giving me support all this time. Something for you guys. And then something for you guys on YouTube as well, because you guys have been supporting me all this time as well. So yeah, while I'm away, you'll still get videos. Hopefully, that's the plan at least. If everything goes according to the plan, which in Breaking Bad verse, it rarely does. Unless it's Walt making the plan, or in this case, Saul or Jimmy or whatever, So yeah, wish me good luck. Anyways, so a little bit of the last episode, Chuck and Jimmy interaction that was pretty hard, pretty important, pretty heavy. Two brothers going at it. Jimmy asking Chuck to just say it. If you want me to do it, just say it. Tell me, I'll do it. I will leave law permanently because that is what you want. And he denies it, and I think he's lying. That is obviously what he wants. I mean, in that moment, he said, look, if I didn't want you... In that moment, he says, like, I don't care where you work or whatever. I just don't want you to work in HHM. But, I don't think that's true at all. First, that scene where they did do a zoom and he's uneasy when Howard is telling him that Jimmy works at Davis and Maine now. And then later on, he like flat out just says it. Like, if Howard was on my payroll, he wouldn't have recommended you to Davis and Maine. So the guy is very much a hypocrite. He says I'm not a hypocrite. He is very much a hypocrite. He says, no, I said, and then he just flat out does the thing. Like he says he's not, but his actions are clearly hypocrite-like, So yeah, you're a hypocrite. Is he wrong though? Wrong for being a hypocrite, which is what I dislike. Is he actually objectively wrong? No, he's not wrong, But because he's a hypocrite, I don't like him. Now, Jimmy, on the other hand, isn't a hypocrite, right? He tells you, he's very manipulative. He's very careful with his words. He never says that I will never do this. He says to Kim, right? You will never hear about this, because Kim says, I don't want to hear about this. And he's like, you won't, right? So in that moment, he didn't just say that I will not do this. He said, you won't hear this from me. Which is what happens then. She doesn't hear it from him. She hears it from someone else. No, he's still wrong for doing the wrong thing, but he's not a hypocrite. And you can respect someone who is truthful, I guess, in that way. Similar to how I said that I respect Mike in the way that he has rules, even though we know what he's doing is wrong, but he offered that guy money when he wanted to buy guns from, right? Because he took up his time. Then I respected that guy because he didn't accept that money, because he was like, look, I only take money when we do business. We didn't do business. When you need, something else, let me know, and then I'll take your money, right? So I'm like, okay, I can respect that, because you guys aren't, for lack of a better word, hypocrites, right? You do what you say you'll do. And then on top of that, all the hurdles that Chuck is putting in Jimmy's way, that is also pissing me off. Jimmy at no point put any hurdles in Chuck's way. He's actually helping him. He's going out of his way to make sure that Chuck is comfortable. So because of that, I dislike Chuck. But no, he's absolutely not wrong about Jimmy. We know that. Well, those of us who have seen Breaking Bad knows that. And slowly in this show, it is being revealed. His true nature is coming out as well. Jimmy's, that is. But yeah, I still cannot wait for that point where he flips and he's just totally gone overboard, because he's still holding back a little bit. The things that he's doing at the moment at best can be deemed maybe lazy or irresponsible, but not yet quite illegal. Do you know what I mean? He's not quite crossed that line yet. Davison, Maine, and that is NH. I just called him H&M again. HHM. I also like the fact that the only time he really apologized and the only time that he actually felt bad and upset was when he saw what happened to Kim. I thought that was beautiful as well. And at the same time, I thought that was scary to me, at least, because see, he does stuff and it's kind I'm going to go back to Breaking Bad. It's kind of like Walt and Jesse, right? Kind of like that situation. Walt is the one who was making the decisions, but Jesse was often the one who would bear the consequences of those decisions. And we all know how that goes. And if that is how this is going to go, I don't know if I can bear this. Do you know what I mean? I could barely bear that. So, because Jesse was shady still at the end of the day. No matter how much you like him, and I liked him a lot, he was still doing illegal stuff and he was very much a criminal. Whereas Kim isn't any of those things, do you know what I mean? Then another thing that I wanted to talk about was Mike, the statement that he made to Nacho, killing your own partner. That's not something that you can whatever. Like, it's not something that you can undo, basically, is what I was saying. I forgot the word he used. I thought that was quite interesting because, well, what happened to Mike's son, right? We found out that it was his partners who, you know, did what they did. And so I thought that maybe came from a very, you know, a place from the heart. It came, he really wanted Nacho not to do something that will lead to something huge later down the ground. Like, so many people got affected with that one move. Could have been so much different. Just that at that one moment that the people had, you know, accepted that his son has accepted the money and he's going to go on and he's not going to talk to anyone. He's not going to snitch, right? If they had just accepted that, so many people would have been alive today, right? So I thought that was quite interesting there as well, Mike making that move. But then again, he did make half measures there. So at some point, we assume he's going to learn the lesson to not go half measures. That's going to be interesting as well. I'm actually looking forward to that now. Anyways, yeah, that's enough of that. Let's jump into episode 5 called Rebecca. Without any further, Mountain Dew.
Wonderful.
Are the leaks too overpowered?
All right, don't humor me.
I'm not. Did what's her name behave herself?
She takes the whole section for granted. I'm debating whether to say something.
That's his wife.
Well, anyway, you are a troop. Something of an acquired taste.
Oh, how bad can you be?
I saw it.
Ooh, Howard?
You know why she did that? Carol Burnett, who raised her.
He's here.
He's early. You're a doll.
Where is she now?
Holy shit. Look at this place.
Oh, Jimbo. Yeah, he's an acquired taste for sure. Agree there.
Little taste of home for you. Had to look all over town to find a place that had it. You're good.
No, that will do. I was freeing up space. I just didn't want my recording to end halfway. In the middle, do you know what I mean? All right.
Found a few that I like.
Focused.
There's one place, the Beachcomber, has a pool.
Wow, that's an interesting necklace.
Violinist. And according to Chuck, crazy talented one. That.
Well, Chuck is very gracious.
Yo-Yo Ma came to our wedding.
Whoa.
Right on, man.
He doesn't know who Yo-Yo Ma is? I know who Yo-Yo Ma is. I love his stuff.
Folks, guys and gals. Well, gal, singular.
I notice how he's the one talking,
Everyone's name.
mostly.
And I licked a ton of stamps. My tongue is
He did learn everyone's names.
seriously. Yeah. I found out there's a sponge for that. Oops. Rookie mistake.
She gonna do the Carol thing?
I want to thank you for having me over. This is like the best meal I've had in a decade.
Is this where he wins her over? She seemed a bit uneasy there for a second.
Being super talented with the, you got a good one, Chuck. I mean, lucky man.
To that.
I always feel like those cups are or glasses are so like thin. They're gonna break them when you do that.
What's the difference between a vacuum cleaner and a lawyer on a motorcycle? What do you get when you cross the Godfather with a lawyer? An offer you can't understand.
Very clever.
Never heard that one.
Why do they bury lawyers under 20 feet of dirt? Because deep down, they're really good people. Oh, what do you call a lawyer?
Oh, he's doing that thing.
Your Honor. What's the difference between a tick and
She's loving it. She's loving it.
off when you're dead? Bam! Love that one. You like that? Just joking. I want you to know.
Oh, he's taking it seriously. He's definitely getting offended.
How many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb? Classic setup here. 3. 1 to climb the ladder, 1 to shake it, and 1 to sue the ladder company.
That was a good one.
I'm here all night.
Yeah, let's go. It is. Oh, yeah.
I think I know one.
Oh, bring it on.
Yeah. What do lawyers and sperm have in common? 3 million. No, wait. 1 in 3 million have a chance
of becoming a human being.
Go and tug it. Pull it off. You little. Here's what I'm saying. Like, just act like a normal human being, bro.
Well, that went well, don't you think?
Sure.
I don't know what you're worried about. Jimmy's great.
Yeah.
Well, wait till you get to know him more. He's good with people. That's something you got to give Jimbo.
What do you call 25 attorneys buried up to their chins in cement? Not enough cement.
What? Oh.
He's trying to be funny. Like me and failed miserably. Like me. That expression change. Oh, he's so jealous of Jimmy. He is so envious of Jimmy.
You threw away a soda can. I fished it out, so it's fine. Office cans are for recyclable paper.
So the big can is where I should throw my empty scotch bottles.
Joke.
I have a few notes. I think they're pretty clear, but it's probably easier if we just go over them together. I'd love to go over them now if you have a minute. It looks worse than it is. It's just that we have a particular house style.
4th year.
That's right.
So why is a 2nd year giving notes to a 4th year?
Well, like I said, I know the house.
That is kind of the point she's making, isn't it?
Does
Why
Cliff
is
end
that
up
happening?
babysitting me?
No,
Yeah.
but when you use too many, it disrupts the flow of your argument, and it gives the impression you don't know how to write an argument of your own. You have a tendency to overuse the words clearly and obviously.
What about lovely?
First thing tomorrow morning.
Well, I was thinking we should just get her done now. No time like the present.
Sure. Let's roll up our sleeves and apply a little elbow grease.
Great.
So I'm gonna see you momentarily.
You gonna climb by the window or something? He's gonna leave? He's gonna be waiting outside? Okay, yeah. I hated professors who would do that too. Oh, you did this too much. Oh, you did that. You leave space. Oh, center it. Oh, this it, that it. Like, bro, is it what I wrote? Is that good? All right, cool. That's what I'm here for.
Kim, it's 20 to midnight. Are you asking me if you can leave?
But I mean, a professor makes sense, though. He's making you ready, or they are making you ready for whatever rules, you know, a firm that you work for might have.
Hey, again, thanks.
He's just looking at him like, come on, fam.
5 minutes, just give me 5 minutes. Here's how we're gonna handle this travesty of justice.
Wexler versus Hamlin, McGill. You want me to sue my own firm?
Where did it go? This is not my area of expertise, right? So, first,
Howard, who has an image to uphold. He did the same thing after the Kettleman fiasco, and Chuck was nowhere in sight.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Chuck is behind this.
No, you are behind this.
Chuck isn't behind this. I believe that. Chuck is not behind this.
Kim,
Even if I won, who would hire me?
Exactly.
then I quit Davis and Maine. Because this is about Chuck, whether you want to believe it or not.
It's not.
What he wants, he lets up on.
See, I'm the harshest critic of Chuck. This is not about Chuck.
Prove you can go 1 week, hell, 1 day without breaking the rules of the New Mexico Bar Association or pissing off your boss. And don't insult my intelligence by saying you are doing any of this for me.
You feel guilty, so
Me.
yeah. That's why you're doing
Save
it.
me.
Yes, you do. And she will.
Just please go.
Second.
I took a risk yesterday at lunch with some onion rings, and last night,
Are we doing this or not?
you bet.
Hey, I remember you mentioned your brother worked in Intel's legal department. I'm an attorney at Hamlin McGill. Would you happen to know if Intel is happy with their legal representation? That's flattering, but I'm seeing someone at the moment, so
Well,
just call the main number and they'll find me. On large contracts. Schweikart? Sure. Yeah, I know them well. It's a great firm. We met at that ABA mixer last
that's the one they're going up against.
That was me. Well, congrats on landing the Honeywell contract. Huge amount of work.
Oh no. Oh no. I was just thinking, is this not going to work out and she'll have to go back to Jimmy? Ah, Kim, save you. You save you. Come on. See, I know Jimmy's not good, okay? Come on, don't.
Turkey wrap.
But I don't like Chuck. Don't. I don't like him.
How's the place?
It's great.
All right, they moved.
By the end of the day, she's a prune.
I'm glad.
Oh, they're in
Hey, I better get her dinner started soon.
hotel? Or like apartment complex?
Thanks, Mike. She misses you. You think you might come by later?
No,
Is she the only one?
I don't want her to see me looking like this. I can tell you, the next car I get's gonna have airbags. You give Kaylee a kiss for me.
I will.
All right, bye, darling.
Whoa, hold on. What the hell happened to you? First rule of Fight Club, right? Let me introduce you.
I don't know what that means.
Aaron, this is my grandpa, Mike.
Nice to meet you.
She has such a creepy smile, I swear. She's sweet. She's cute too, but she's such a creepy smile.
Bet you never thought you'd see me again. I need a summary judgment hearing with Michaelis.
Needs to go way back.
You're pretty. Will you be my new mommy?
That's not how it works. You submit the paperwork and you get a date. Period.
Is there any possible way we could still get Thursday?
I'll give you 2:30 Thursday, the 14th.
That's next month.
Exactly.
So does this go on my official Stasi report?
I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I'm trying to keep you out of it.
I'm gonna hit the men's room. The men's room.
Hey, that's the petty.
Hey, how you doing, Bill?
Yeah, it is. I saw the bald head and I'm like, it's the guy. I did the prior.
It's
No, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I bet it's German. Is it German?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually a
Deutsch.
Sick office? I bet you have a sick office.
Yeah. Coco Bolo.
It's got a little fireplace.
Fireplace.
Yeah.
I killed my mother for a fireplace.
J.A.
You have an assistant. Is she hot?
She is a bright young man named Omar.
He's hot. Wait, and he's thinking that too. He's like, Omar, yeah. Sounds exotic.
The worst part could have come from two different defendants. They're scumbags.
It's a corporate apartment. It's just.
No, don't tell me. Christ. Damn it, I gotta run. I'm putting away some brain dead.
And it's sort of him realizing how good he has it and how ungrateful he's being.
Good seeing you, Bill. Have a great day.
Yeah. Lucky bastard.
Should have said that a bit louder because I think he needed to hear that. More numbers to call. Will anybody answer?
I'll let him know.
No? No one? Nada?
Sir, I was looking for Jillian Cogan.
This is bad. This is really bad. This means she's gonna have to go to Jimmy.
Kids are gonna keep coming every summer.
Damn, she really works out, doesn't she? Well, first her legs, now her... Choke me. Oh, lovely. Steal one. Steal Danish. Oh, I love sweets. That shine on the glass. The watch. Want them called back?
Absolutely. I'll tell him right now. I'm sure we can get something on the books tomorrow. Day after at the latest.
Oh, I thought you said I. Oh, I mean the firm. That was loud. Kim saves Kim. Let's go. Oh, I know those mountains.
I can remember the cover of my first passbook. It was a silhouette of a
cowboy
on horse.
As far as I was concerned, I was saving up for that horse. What the heck else is money good for when you're 7 years old?
I love horses too.
Presentation for you in our conference room.
Granddad had one.
And a soy mocha.
He was a wild one though.
She's a keeper.
The horse was.
Let's do it.
Couldn't even finish that one. Come on. Yeah, the horse was pretty wild too.
Well, I think they couldn't have got any better. Pleasure to meet you.
Fantastic. I'll see you soon.
Thanks for setting this up. Talk to you soon.
Is it like mandatory to wear something purple or bluish? A guy had a purple tie. She's wearing purple this whole time. That girl over there's wearing blue.
Put together a list of staff associates we can put on this.
I'll put Francis on that. You've got enough on your plate in doc review.
Wait. This is about Chuck. I believed him when he said I have nothing to do with him, Kim's situation.
Fourth-year associate snags $250,000 in billings. She's out of the doghouse, I assume.
We'll see.
Oh, no, okay, so it wasn't Chuck. Okay, I was right. So it really is Howard. Why? Howard is doing this to punish Jimmy? Because Howard did put word in for Jimmy, right? I mean, it was Kim, but it was also Howard at the end of the day. It's Chuck. So he works in his office at night and then sleeps during the day so other people aren't disturbed because of him.
Oh, sorry. I didn't.
You're in early?
She's leaving.
Well, regardless of the hour, good to see you here.
Yeah, I'm trying something new. Coming in working until...
Yeah.
How about some coffee?
No, thank you.
Would you mind making me some? I apologize.
Sure.
Ooh, okay. She's starting to believe that it is Chuck. Is it Chuck? I really don't believe it. I don't think it is Chuck.
Well, I guess it's true what they say. The early bird gets the worm, which is good if you like worms.
Only told joke that I laughed at. Bastard. He's always been envious of his Jimmy's humor, you know? He talked about it before.
If it makes you feel any better, you're not the first person to go out on a limb for him. I made the same mistake over and over again. Now Howard has, and he blames you.
That's it isn't Chuck. It's Howard. Which, like I said, makes sense, because he, like you said, went out on a limb for him, and now he's breaking that limb.
My dad, our dad, he was...
My dad, our dad.
I'm not sure he could even see sin. Like he was born without the gene. He ran a little corner store in Cicero. Cigarettes behind
Cicero.
And he can. Nothing special, but it kept food on the table. And the neighborhood loved Dad. He knew everybody's name and what was going on in their lives.
Sounds kind of like Jimmy. Obviously without the sin part, but you know.
I was away at college when he put Jimmy to work there. But Dad was not the world's greatest businessman, and eventually he ran into money troubles. Now, I'm no accountant, but I discovered $14,000 was just gone. Turns out Jimmy had pilfered it in dribs and drabs. My dad wouldn't hear it. Not his Jimmy. 6 months later, he was dead. At the funeral, no one cried harder than Jimmy. My brother is not a bad person. He can't help himself. And everyone's left picking up the pieces. No.
How does he know it was Jimmy?
I'll talk to Howard. Pour a little oil on troubled waters. Being wasted down in doc review. Good job with Mesa Verde.
Okay. How do you figure out it was Jimmy taking all that money? That's quite sad, though. But he was a child, though. Children don't really know right from wrong all that much. Am I supposed to know that guy?
He really did a number on you.
Sorry, I know you.
The young man who did that to you.
Ding, 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 yep.
Hothead always has been. He thinks he's a boxer. He should go to jail. Teach him respect for his elders.
But
not for 8 years. Much less.
8 years? Yeah, I don't know why Mike thought this was gonna end well. The more I thought about it, I'm like, well, they're still gonna come.
I'm looking for the best possible outcome for everybody. You take home $5,000. Think about it.
Ding, ding. Okay, that was lovely. They dinged the bell before he entered. Now I know why, you cheeky buggers. All right, so Mike's in it now. This was an interesting episode. Before I jump into talking more about it, though, if you want to see the full-length reaction, it's available on my Patreon, link in the description. Videos go up early there as well. And I might be taking a break soon as well. Hopefully, I'll upload other kinds of videos, though, and while I'm away. You guys asked me to do, like, one video full of the, like, full season 1 of Breaking Bad, and then a video of season 2 and Lord of the Rings and other stuff as well. So I'll try to do other stuff like that while I'm away. Hopefully. Or I say that I probably won't do anything. You know, let's be honest, because it is a vacation. But yeah, thank you every single one of you for supporting me all this time. Now then, a lot to unpack here. So I think I was right in that Chuck was telling the truth when he said he had nothing to do with Kim. And I think that scene kind of proved that Chuck had nothing to do with it. And not only that, that Chuck will actually go ahead and talk to Howard and make things right, or try to. Howard is doing this on his own. Like I said, I understand. He put his name out there for Jimmy, and now Jimmy did this. So he's putting Kim, because Kim was the one who pushed Howard, right? So, you know, makes sense. I'm not upset at Howard, really, because he's just reacting to something that Jimmy did, which is bad. Now, staying on the same topic, Chuck saying his father's accounts were here and there by 14,000. Okay, cool. Then he says it was Jimmy who did that. You know, a little, you know, dollar here, some there, on and so forth. How did he find that out? See, if it was someone else, I would take his word for it and I'd be like, all right. But since we have gotten a background of Chuck and Jimmy, and now we understand that there is something a bit more at personal level, a sort of a personal vendetta these two have sort of against each other, particularly Chuck, not so much Jimmy. For Jimmy, it's not personal. Jimmy's just like Jimmy, you know what I mean? He's doing his thing. It's wrong. And Chuck is not okay with that, but then Chuck is making it personal. He's not necessarily doing things to him, although that was to his own dad, so that's huge. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure what exactly. Because, I mean, if that happened, that's massive. That massively changes my opinion about Jimmy and Chuck. Well, not Jimmy. Jimmy I already thought was a scumbag. Chuck, you know. But like I said, I know Chuck, and I know that he is envious of Jimmy and that he wants to be like Jimmy. Even the thing with Rebecca, right, with his wife. He's trying to tell a joke about the attorneys and just doesn't land, and his lack of ability to land a joke. He's previously said as well, like, you think you can do what I do just because you're funny or you're witty or something along those lines. So there are things that Jimmy has that Chuck wants, and he's just unable to have those. And so he has sort of this superiority complex in a way. He thinks he's better than Jimmy. He thinks that there's a set path, cemented, do you know what I mean, engraved, and that you have to take to be successful. There is no deviating from that path. If you deviate, you're wrong. And that's Jimmy. Jimmy deviates. Jimmy does not have a set path at all. So, yeah, I can see that envy there. And because of that, I'm like, well, I would like to trust you, but I find that hard to trust. You know what I mean? And it's not that I don't trust anything Chuck says, because At every turn, they tried to make me think, or the viewer think, that it was Chuck who's behind it, right? At every point, every opportunity they got, they tried to do that. They didn't get me. So it's not that I just hate Chuck, which I do kind of. I don't hate him. I dislike him. But I do take some of the things that he says seriously. That, however, is a very serious accusation. One that, like I said, will completely change my view on Chuck. Like, entirely. I will not have even this much dislike in my heart for Chuck, if that is true. I'm being very honest when I say that, because when I heard that, I was like, whoa, there has to be more to that, because that's huge. That's massive. And from a very young age, I mean, then what I have been saying all this time is that people change, and that Jimmy has changed. Jimmy has shown that he's changed. But if he was like that from a very young age, then Chuck has a point. People don't change, or rather, Jimmy is not going to change. He was born that way, that means, you know what I mean? And from what we heard about his father was a great guy. He was forgiving, he helped people, so he definitely didn't raise Jimmy like that. So what happened, right? So there has to be more to that. So I'm going to hold off on that. I would like to know more. I'm really happy for Kim, though. Finally, things worked out for her without Jimmy's intervention. I've said this before, and I will say it again. I get it. Jimmy's not a great guy. I've never said he was. It's not about Jimmy for me. It's about Chuck. I focus more on Chuck. So yeah, that's great that she did it on her own, because I didn't want her to go back to Jimmy, because then he would do something shady, like suing his own company, her own firm. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, fam. Like, what are you doing? I also think that meeting there with forgot his name, that petty with the prayer dude, I think that might have served as a sort of a reminder, like, this is where you were in the dirt, you lucky bastard, like he says. So take what you have and be grateful for it. Like how they hired a babysitter for him. But yeah, I found those things so annoying as well. Like, oh, you didn't indent this. I'm like, oh, come on. But that was college, though. Like, that's understandable. Like, it's college. The point of college is to get you ready for the real world, right? So more than understanding the material, it's about showing up on time, doing the tasks that you're given, the assignments, completing them, taking the tests, working under pressure, working with people. So it's not just about the material and the syllabi, right? It's way more than that. It's hitting deadlines and, following instructions and so on and so forth. So that makes sense. But it still annoyed me so much. And now she was saying that, I'm like, oh my God, in a way, I'm kind of like Jimmy, because I didn't like that either. I mean, I did it, because I understood that that's how things are and that's how you have to do it. But Jimmy, being Jimmy, he just went out the back door and that's it. Although he did go over it, though, the next morning. That's another real contrast right there between the two, though, Kim and Jim, is that Jim left. He couldn't stay over. He did come in the next morning, and the first thing they did was go over that stuff. But he couldn't stay late. He didn't have that extra commitment, I guess, or whatever, that it takes to stay late and get the work done, which Kim clearly. I mean, she stays so late that Chuck thought she showed up early. She's like, no, I actually have not gone home. And you witch Kim, looking like that, working, 12, 14 hours? Some people are lucky, aren't they? But she deserves it, though. I mean, if you work that hard, then you should get everything, really, that you work. So it is deserved, Lucky, but deserved. And then at the end, Mike and Theo. What's his name? Do I know Theo's name? Hector Salamanca? I think so. I think I've heard that name. But the Theo, I might be saying one of the cousins' name or something, but Theo, right? He can talk, first off. He can walk, second off. And he's trying to make a deal with Mike. I'm trying to make sure that the outcome is best for everyone. You'll get a little bit of a penalty, but it's the best one. Meaning, you're free right now. That's clearly the best one. This deal, I will do something to you, right? That was a threat right there. What is going to happen there? Okay, what's Mikey gonna do? I mean, the more I thought about that, I'm like, I respect your rules and everything, and it's great that you're doing this. But the more I thought, when I was editing it too, the more I thought about this, I'm like, this sounds like half measures. I even said it at the start. This sounds like half measures. Come on, Mike. You keep preaching about full measures, but like I said, that thing might not have happened that taught him the full measures thing. Not entirely sure, actually. Gotta go back to that episode and see what exactly he meant. He might have been talking about his son when he was talking about that, though. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to revisit that one. I don't remember that entirely. But yeah, a lot is happening. A lot is developing, and I'm so eager to see what's going to happen next. Thank you so much, patrons. Thank you so much, everybody else. Thank you so much, every single one of you, for supporting me all this time. Patrons, YouTube members, subscribers, every single one of you, commenters, likers, all of you, viewers, everyone. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a nice